the adoption process as we, getting to this election was full of a number of incidences, and also we saw what happened in Mazabuka with the former, Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. That doesn't represent peace. What's going on?
That's a very good question. I'm glad that you brought it at the last, so that we could first discuss very important things that are benefiting the country and the people of Zambia, people in Chibolia, people in Chuempala, people in Malemba, the people in Kanakantapa and everywhere. So that we can deal with these non-issues at the end of the day. UPND is a very big political party, and it has grown over time. It has never gone down in terms of popularity. You will agree with me that after we reverted back to multi-party democracy, it's only UPND that has managed to get so many members of parliamentary representation. It is so attractive that people believed that all they needed was to secure an adoption, then they are members of parliament. Because of partly how attractive UPND is and how disorganized the opposition is. Because can you imagine you are in the opposition as MP for PF? You don't even know what you are going to stand on. You are not going to stay there. They found UPND to be more organized. And truth be told, we have a lot of MPs from the opposition that have stood on the UPND ticket. The principle about UPND is that no one is indispensable. You've given an example of Garry.
Honorable Garry Nkombo.
You have not asked me about Siakalima, who did not participate, but he was a minister. And there is peace there. Because if Siakalima wanted, he could have gone independent there. I want you to see the contrast. His colleague decided, because in the first place, he never applied. What did he do? He went independent. What is the party position? The party position has been that we don't encourage independent MPs for various reasons.
Is that why he was attacked by party members?
No. I'm sure you know that the matter is now with the police. It's difficult to tell who has been attacked between the two of them, but the victims have reported. Okay?
And the public has been very concerned that a person who is seen in video being beaten is ended up being arrested for assault.
I know. What you saw maybe in a video is partly what happened. You and I, we are not there. In an assault matter, they say okay? So we cannot be providing a public court of opinion in order to arrive at a decision. We need to allow law enforcement agencies to do their job so that we do not seem to interfere. The political upheavals there are not new. Just to give you a snippet of it, for people like yourself, it looks new. In 2021, because of the one who has been adopted, Rilanda, demonstrated strength in influencing the area. He has been a mayor. The battles there between Rilanda and Garry are not new. In 2021, they reached the stage where we had to get the supporters of Rilanda and the supporters of Garry and merged them, 17-17, to come up with a structure. It was almost difficult for them to have an intra-party election in Mazabuka. I want to say it now so that you need to understand a bit of where some of the things are coming from. It was almost difficult to have intra-party elections in 2021 in Mazabuka. So then you will know that if we were to get 17 people who seemed to be with Rilanda and 17 who seemed to be with Garry, it should tell you the build-up there. It should tell you the build-up there. So, it is not only in that place. There are many other areas where people struggled to be adopted, but there can only be one person to be adopted. Like I mentioned, it should not be Maximo. It can also be somebody else. It may not be Garry, excuse me. It can be somebody else, my brother. There is no written rule that because you know this person, then they should be the ones to be adopted. Then there is no democracy. I should have expected a question here of saying someone else has stood in Mazabuka. Then UPND shows that there is democracy. Doesn't that show democracy to you?
Because for the
Somebody else has stood in Chirundu and not Siakalima. Somebody else has stood in Livingstone and not Rodney Skumba. Why hasn't Skumba created chaos there? It's not correct that Skumba doesn't have supporters there. There are people who believe in Skumba. It's not correct that Siakalima doesn't have people support him. There are people. Why is Muchima not contesting?
I know your party position is you do not want party members to go in.
We discourage, not wanting.
You discourage.
We discourage
but
for various political advantages.
But the Zambian constitution allows for one to.
But it does not stop you from discouraging. That's
But
why
then-
I'm very careful.
But then if you're discouraging and your members are blocking people from expressing
there's
their
no one who is
constitutional
being
rights.
blocked. The principle is clear. The Republican Constitution says you can only stand when you don't belong to a political party. And our message is very clear. So how can you say Garry belongs to UPND when he goes independent? It means he is going against the Constitution of Zambia. Who is an independent? It is one who is not sponsored by the party. He must not be a carrying membership of any political party to qualify to be independent. So when we discourage, we are saying only UPND members will stand on the UPND. Those who go independent are in conflict with the constitution. You are referring to my brother.
Is the candidate that the UPND settled for in Mazabuka Central more popular than the former?
The barrow to speak. Not these conversations we're having on social media. Because you have not done any opinion poll. We are discussing smoke. No basis, completely lopsided conversation.
Is Mr. Garry Nkombo still a member of the UPND?
We'll be making it public. He is no longer UPND member. So now, as media director, I need to mention that there will be an official statement that will be given.
When did he stop being a UPND
He
member?
has tendered a resignation, which was, of course, after his nomination. So he's no longer a member of the UPND. And the message to the people of Mazabuka, which will be followed by a statement by the Secretary General, is that all members of the UPND now in Mazabuka will have to support a UPND member. Because Garry Nkombo is no longer a UPND member. So then it also goes there for that he cannot campaign for HH because that's blackmail to those who are sympathizers of UPND in Mazabuka. So then now we can know who belongs to them, him, and then they will claim they are not UPND. So now the message must be put clear. He's no longer a member of the UPND. He has tendered a resignation from the UPND. Okay? And there will be an official statement under the hand of the Secretary General. So moving forward, all members there who are UPND should not have meetings with Garry.
That's
Number one. Two, all members are called upon now to support a UPND candidate.
What did this once darling of the UPND, the one that fought so tirelessly for the UPND in 2021 and Good afternoon and welcome to Conversations at One. My name is Seidlitz Nkhonjera and I'm glad that we are together this afternoon. You've heard it right. The UPND media director has just informed us. I was speaking to him last night. He's informed us that the former Mazabuka Member of Parliament and former Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Honorable Garry Nkombo, has resigned from the United Party for National Development. This, according to the media director, comes after he filed in his nominations as an independent candidate for that particular constituency, Mazabuka Central. This also brings, to the fore numerous debate We're going to be getting into the meat of that conversation right now. There's so much to discuss this afternoon concerning this particular story. There's so many other issues that we need to look at. Helping me discuss and dissect this situation that we have before us is Mr. George Chomba, resident analyst right here at Crown Television. Mr. Chomba, good afternoon and welcome to Conversations at One.
Good afternoon.
The cat is out of the bag. Honorable Garry Nkombo is no longer a part of the UPND. An official statement is going to be issued by the Secretary General of the party, but the media director has let the cat out of the bag.
Zambia is not a dictatorship. Zambia is not a one-party state. It's a democracy. So we enjoy the Bill of Rights. That is to associate with people that we want to associate with, and also to disengage when you think you are not needed or you don't need them. And what Mr. Garry Nkombo has done, he went as an independent. We have discussed this, that you can't, when you are a politician, you can't belong to two political parties. Article 72 discourages that. In fact, it forbids, because that is in the Constitution. You can't be an independent when you belong to a political party. When you file as an independent, the Electoral Commission of Zambia would not allow you to be an independent and then file your nomination using a symbol of a political party where you left. In fact, the Electoral Code of Conduct, when you are actually campaigning, you'll be told there is no way you can wear a regalia belonging to a political party, campaign for a presidential candidate you are not in the same club with, and then you get away with it, because the candidate you are contesting against will be puzzled, and you will say, but when I want to say I love this one, you love this one, and yet you said you are going to be independent in mind, independent in terms of your manifesto and everything else. So what Mr. Garry Nkombo has done is his democratic right to leave a political party which he believes that it's no longer serving his purpose.
At the end of the day, Mr. Chomba, Mr. Nkombo had no option. The moment he decided to go independent, the law soon was going to catch up with him and enforce itself on him. He needed to choose: either he's independent and belongs to a party and then gets, disqualified because he belongs to a political party after the 13th of this month, or he's independent and resigns from the political party, which he has done.
Yes.
Now, there was a case that was brought up, just so that there's context to this conversation.
Yes.
Isaac Mwanza had sued, had petitioned rather the High Court to rule on this issue of 101 members of parliament, independent aspiring members of parliament, on whether they, are in line with the law to contest their various seats whilst belonging to political parties. And he was specific that they filed their nominations whilst they were belonging to political parties. Garry Nkombo was amongst those people, but on technicalities, he did not, file supporting or documents of arguments in court, and this made the court make a decision as of yesterday to throw out that particular case. What does this mean?
Sometimes you can go to court, you can go to a wrong court, you can submit the wrong arguments, and then the court will simply tell you, oh, you are not in the right court. Or maybe the things that you have brought are actually not the things which are required in court. That doesn't mean you are not correct in your decisions. And when you correct all those things that you have been told, you may succeed. So So Isaac Mwanza demonstrated his right to appear before the courts. And on a technicality, as you have said, they have said, no, you are actually improperly here. But time will catch up with the decisions of those who went as an independent. Today, which is today is on the 4th, 13th, that is 2 months before the election, will soon catch up, and they need to make a decision whether they belong, if they belong to UPND or any other political party. And their political parties feel aggrieved that you are our person who has decided to stand as an independent. Can you make a decision whether you belong to us or are you an independent? Those decisions have to be made, and they have to be made very quickly. And Mr. Mwanza or any other person can still go back to court and plead differently with the right documents. But let me just draw people backwards. When they were crossing of the floor allegations that is in the National Assembly, I did say punishment of a member should start from a political party. If Mr. Garry Nkombo and all the others who stood as independents, that is away from the UPND, that is their political party, disobeyed the disciplinary code of the party or to toe the same line, what should have happened even by now is for the political party to write to its members who are claiming we are still UPND, or any other political party writing to members who have gone as independents and said, look here, we are going to discipline you. Why are you standing as an independent when you belong to this political party? But that is now past for Mr. Garry Nkombo. We don't know about others who are still in the race. The party still can write to them so that if it's an expulsion, it comes from the party. But if a member decides, I'm no longer going to be an independent, which means the person reverts to his affiliation of a political party.
Talking of the story that we're looking at this afternoon, the party has drawn a very, very uncompromising line. They have instructed party members to stay away from Mr. Garry Nkombo, to not attend his rallies or be in conflict with the party rules. They've also instructed the parties, Mr. Nkombo, to not use the name of President Hakainde Hichilema in their campaign because he is a UPND presidential candidate. So say if you are independent, run as an independent, but do not ride on the fame and the numbers of the party through the party president's, support. That is what the media director said yesterday. Is this, a clear sign that everything has come to, a position where you can say, nafi point?
I'll draw people to the Electoral Process Act. And in the Electoral Process Act, there is the Code of Conduct. The Code of Conduct talks to citizens of the Republic of Zambia, journalists and political parties, and anyone, stakeholders. Don't disturb your friend when they are doing something. If you are a member of Barcelona and they are having their training so that they will play football against another team, they have got their own game plan. So you as a player, you can't run away and go to Madrid and then you start saying, I support Madrid and we should play the same kind of game. You have disobeyed. So what UPND, if that is what they have done, and Mr. Smue talked about it, that's the way it is. If you are a member of the family and they tell you, this chicken today we are just eating as member of family, that is not the time you start inviting all the neighbors to come and partake. So the rules are in secrecy. That is the UPND strategy should only be known by UPND members. But if the same members, they move away from UPND and then they start associating with an independent, then they are breaching that code which they have agreed upon. So the UPND, they are within their rights to tell their members, don't be with Garry Nkombo wherever he's going. Allow him free space to campaign and talk to the voters.
Is this a sign of panic by the UPND, or is it just them trying to protect their grassroots, structures?
We don't know the outcome of the election. In Zambia, elections are a secret ballot. You pick the ballot paper and you vote. So people cannot say, are you panicking and all those things. All players are confident until the Electoral Commission of Zambia declares the winner. And the UPND and any other political parties can make those rules because they are not breaching the national constitution. The only time that the political party would breach the constitution is when they breach Article 60 of the Republic of Zambia, Constitution of the Republic of Zambia, because it says members are free to challenge, to offer themselves for leadership, to also elect leaders. So what Mr. Garry Nkombo took from the constitution, which is within his right, is to say, you people, you have infringed on my right to stand, so I'm going alone. And he has exercised this freedom of standing as an independent. But in terms of crossing the line from the political disciplinary code, obviously, he has done it, although he won't go through the disciplinary process because he has resigned.
Mr. Chomba, and to our viewers, in case you're just joining us, we are looking at the sudden resignation of former Mazabuka Member of Parliament from the UPND, Garry Nkombo. And this has been made to, brought to our attention by the UPND Media Director, Mr. Mark Sumue. Now, the other part of where the party instructs Mr. Nkombo to not use the name of the president as he campaigns, and I think he said he would call it double standards.
Yeah,
we have seen in previous elections where independent candidates have chosen to align themselves to sitting presidents. These are likes of J. Banda, Binwa Mpundo, the Kangombe from Kamfinsa. Why is it very necessary for the UPND to reject Nkombo's endorsement of President Hakainde Hichilema? And then, as you answer that, Mr. Chomba, I labored really to try to find out from the media director what went wrong. Why was Mr. Nkombo dropped as, chairman for elections? He did not disclose. I asked him whether it is because of this information we've been getting that he was amongst those that did not vote for Bill 7. He said that was not a reason. It is his democratic right to not vote for Bill 7, but it was not anywhere near the reasons why Mr. Nkombo was, dropped from his position. And he did not give a reason. I asked him if it was because of something he could not say on air, and he insisted and said maybe what was committed, the offense that was committed, was so big that it could not be discussed in air. He said he could not wash dirty linen in public.
I've covered 7 presidents. Zambians should remember those who are my age, or maybe they were in journalism, or those above me. Dr. Kaunda used to disclose. I remember he told one minister, I've fired you because you have taken too much to the bottle. If it's a family in discipline, Dr. Kaunda would say, I want you to reorganize your family. There are incidents as a young man growing up, even before I joined journalism. That's why when Dr. Kaunda is having a press briefing and he starts at 8 hours, he would finish around 16 hours and everybody would be glued to the radio. At that time, live coverage was rare. So when Dr. Chiluba came, he would drop, he would appoint or disappoint, or disappoint and appoint without any disclosure of why they are giving you. Maybe presidents sometimes they will tell you, I'm appointing you so that you can sort out this. But when they are being dropped, Dr. Chiluba, Dr. Mwanawasa, and all these other presidents, they don't disclose. Even when people outside the State House, they are talking about it, we take it as a rumor because of non-disclosure. Even if sometimes, yes, people can tell you, oh, he was dropped because of ABCD. So I agree with Mr. Smue that it would be wrong for him to start discussing State House matters as if he were the spokesperson of State House. Now, coming to Mr. Nkombo and the relationship with the president. Well, maybe President Hichilema, again, I'm not speaking to him as the way you would think. You would want somebody to speak on his behalf in terms of we are friends and all those things. But what people should know is President Hichilema is Republican president and also party president. So, yes, Mr. Nkombo may say, I support the Republican president. But in the context of inter-party elections and contest, it becomes very difficult for him to say, I'm now campaigning for myself, I'm also campaigning for this one. Even if anyway there is a thin line, maybe people may not penalize you and all those things. But at the political party level, Mr. Nkombo cannot go with the UPND manifesto and say, I'll be implementing manifesto.
Let's pivot to the ground in Mazabuka, Mr. Chomba. Mr. Nkombo is the immediate past,
yes,
a member of parliament for Mazabuka, and now he's contesting Mazabuka Central. Who stands to lose the more? Because is Mr. Nkombo, by resigning and doing away with the UPND, going independent, losing, the institutional machinery of the UPND, or is the UPND losing, a person who has some roots, on the ground, and also
even political party? He has roots in the political party,
and even in the political party.
Yes.
But also, are they losing someone who has actual touch to the ground and someone that has some charisma that the people of Mazabuka would remember him for, and possibly affect the outcome of this election?
I would tell you a strange thing. One of the uncle, may he so rest in peace. He taught us accountability, even in terms of how he was a civil servant, but he would like us to go up to the end of the month doing certain things. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is we had a relative as our neighbor, not relative, maybe 2, 3, 4 houses. So Milimiu Yapwa, you go and ask for Milimiu. Then you would ask, how come our relative can have Milimiu and we don't have, when the size of the family is the same? So what I'm trying to talk about, sometimes discipline over something overrides the popularity of somebody. The discipline in the UPND, in their management meeting, was that we don't want any independent. You get what I'm saying? So when some members move out, and maybe in that meeting, what you said was whoever goes an independent will be disciplined. You can't now start cherry picking in terms of The one who has moved out is Mr. Nkombo, and he has got a following in Mazabuka and in the party. Sometimes you risk in terms of you apply the kind of discipline that you discussed in the boardroom or in the bedroom, even amongst the children, so that you are not seen that when one child makes a mistake, uyuswama mkwapula no mkwapula and all those things, even if corporal punishment now is outlawed. But you need to ensure that discipline is adhered to, and whatever decision that the UPND is making over Mr. Garry Nkombo, although we have heard he has resigned on his own, but all those members who go against the agreed terms of the party in terms of how they are going to enter politics, if it's expulsion, or if, or they tell you to resign in terms of a party member, and you remain with a few. Sometimes I'll tell you, even in our newsrooms, you can't always say, unless Amani Paul from the CNN comes and work in our newsroom, we can't produce news. You work with what you have. So here the UPND is trying to work with what they have. The indisciplined, they go out.
How difficult a decision was it for the UPND? I know during the primaries, Mr. Nkombo did not take part in those elections, and so he was not amongst the list of people that the party was looking at to adopt, because he did not.
It did not apply.
Yes, he did not apply, and maybe this was because of the disciplinary action that he was under at that particular time. Similar to several other former members of parliament that did not apply. Others applied, but they were not successful and were not picked. But then, how risky was it for the UPND getting to the adoption process to leave out this person with some sort of national character as well, because he's known even here in Lusaka, and he's known in several parts of the country. But to leave him out, despite him not, applying, and get into this election with the hope that he does not, contest. And now that he's contested, that same seat, how risky politically is it for the UPND? But also, why was it a necessary decision for them to make for the sake of other members of the UPND?
I'll tell you, yesterday I was saying, is it yesterday or the other day, that I'm a student of political science. Caesar Jerez saw my lecturer when I was doing my journalism. He would come and would start guessing. He's talking about governance and all these other things. Now, what people should understand, because some of them may think I'm saying this maybe without thinking. The amended constitution at the moment, which came about with Bill 7, which people, they only talk about it, Bill 7. Now, Haimbe, who is a former foreign affairs minister, is not standing. And several members are not standing. Even when you look at the alliance partners, you look at Felix Mtati, is not standing. There are several prominent people of the
Elijah Muchima
is not standing, and all those things.
Las Mubanga,
yes, standing. All those are not.
Douglas Yakalima,
yes, standing. They are not standing. Now, as a political party, you have to be strategic. Maybe Garry Nkombo, and I'm just thinking aloud. He wanted the president to say, Garry Nkombo, you haven't applied. I'm going to nominate you as a member of parliament and later appoint you. I don't know what the president is thinking. But whoever wins, that is amongst the presidential candidates, there are 14 of them, not so. Whoever wins the August 13 election has got 11 nominations to make. Now, in the last cabinet, there was 25 members of parliament and 8 nominated. 8 of them, of the nominated, were in cabinet, apart from our mother, Madam Mazoka, who was she was a backbencher. But what I'm talking about is the Ministerial Code of Conduct, the Ministerial Act has not been amended, which means it has got 30 ministers. Assuming President Hichilema returns and is forming cabinet, don't you think Haimbe, one is a lawyer for the president, 2 is former foreign affairs minister, are you not seeing that the president can simply say, Haimbe, I've nominated you and you are back as foreign affairs minister? Felix Mtati, you were a minister as Minister of Technology. You haven't stood as member of parliament, but you have been a good alliance partner. I'm nominating you. And the president would nominate 11 ministers. But this nomination can happen to any other political party. So, the point I'm trying to make, even if Mr. Nkombo did not apply and they mend defenses and they are friends, we don't know what the president is thinking. Maybe he could have said, oh, Garry Nkombo, you have been a good friend, a strong UPND member, and also I wouldn't forsake you. I've nominated you.
All right, this is Conversations at 1, and we have been looking at this story. Garry Nkombo resigns from the UPND now. He's standing as an independent and without shackles of him being a member of being a member of a political party as he contests this particular election. Just earlier today, Mr. Chomba, we did hear that the Munali constituency aspirant, Mr. Patrick Samwimbila, has announced his withdrawal as an independent member of, as an independent candidate for Munali, and has rallied behind the candidature of Thomas Sipalo. We continue to see many withdrawals from various political parties, but then Mr. Samwimbila contested for that particular seat in the last election in 2021 under a different political party, the PF. And now he contests. He was hoping that after crossing to the UPND, he may be adopted, especially that Honorable Mike Mposha, who was holding that seat.
He has gone to Eastern.
Has gone to Eastern Province. Now, difficulty, or Thomas Sipalo, comes in at the last hour. He also contested the very seat in 2021 as an independent and only lost by a few votes. He was so close to Mike Mposha that the seat could have gone either way. So he comes in with that popularity. Samwimbila came out third. The UPND have decided to go with the candidate that was second best in that particular election, in Thomas Sipalo. How significant is the support that he then gets from Patrick Samwimbila today?
Sometimes you have to gauge yourself whether you are the right person for that seat, even if people talk about right now that the party is mightier than the individual. But you have to look at where Sipalo is coming from. Is Nimona wa Mkomboni. So people know him, and he has carved himself a name in the arts industry, just like the other person who is now backing him. Yes, we need youth representation, but there are various people who are standing in terms of, I've seen other independents who are standing, so we don't know how strong they are. We hope they can market themselves so that people of Munali, Kalingalinga can know them and make effective representation in the house. But what these people who are resigning should know is being the only one who is going to support somebody isn't a guarantee that the people that they are talking about are going to win. It's the ability to mobilize the people and agree that the decision you have made in terms of supporting another person is in the best interest of the community. But some of the resignations which we have heard, I've talked to some people, they are working against some of these decisions. There was because every time we support one person and then the next day they will say I've resigned to join the same person we were condemning. So it becomes confusing. But I hope all those who are resigning from the race, first of all, they don't just announce a resignation. Please visit the office of the Electoral Commission of Zambia and ask, if I do this, am I out of the ballot paper? Because some of them who are announcing, if they don't do the right thing, they might end up being on the ballot paper. Right. And people might just confuse, that is the voters, may just get confused and say, we were men voted so that we find out whether Zaka and Aka win.
There's a story yesterday, Mr. Chomba, as I opened the phone line. There's a story yesterday that was being carried on several platforms online, and some traditional media houses also did carry it, that there was information that the NRPUP, trucks that were carrying regalia for campaigns were being held by ZRA at the Nkombo border. But then at some border, I'm not very sure, certain if it was Nkombo, but at a border.
Yes.
This morning, the Ministry of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Thabo Kawana held a press briefing after the Zambia Revenue Authority issued a press statement to say there is no such a thing. We are not holding any truck that is carrying any regalia for any political party at any of Zambia's borders. And hopefully the director will be able to download that video or get that video from the Permanent Secretary's website. But this is information which was misinformation rather, which was everywhere, and we are going to see a lot of this. But what would be a word of caution, especially to media houses that are carrying these stories with regards verification of these particular stories?
First of all, I can tell you that over the years, at first, political parties and the public depended on traditional media. Daily Mail, Times of Zambia, ZNBC, the Post, which came in 1990, I think shortly before 1990, and there was a Catholic magazine. Now, with the opened up digital space, everybody would like to write, and many people would confuse tradition, that is media, with whoever wants to write unverified information. But it's nice for institution of governance or whichever institution to realize that at the moment you are actually behind or you can be ahead in terms of your public relations. So misinformation and disinformation are going to play a part in the elections in August. Those who know, if they have heard in a bar or at a funeral or anywhere, they want to tell it as if it's the truth. Those who know also will try and misinform the public for their political gain. And also there is now the political side of the media. Obviously, if you are a person who is working for a politician, you would want to be seen to be working. So when the politician says, our regalia has been held, you want to quickly go on the website, because the name which is coming there is not actually the journalist who is writing. It's actually the name of that presidential candidate. And what you want is sympathy for that kind of person. That's why the traditional media should be very brave and only exercise three things: verify, verify, verify. And then the public are going to trust that media house.
All right, let's have a look at this picture, and then on the other side, we'll see how many calls or text messages we can accommodate.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the press. There has been some assertions by political players suggesting that their campaign materials have been impounded by the Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA, and that the authority is since refusing to release those materials for them to pass on to their supporters. Let it be made very clear that ZRA is not holding on to any material or container containing any material for any political party throughout all the borders in this country. If there is such a political party that is purporting that ZRA is holding their material, let them alert us, show us which border and the documentation, and government will assist in ensuring that ZRA expedites. But we are very certain, and ZRA has made it very clear to us as well, that there is no material being held or impounded or held on to. Now, it is very important for political players that in this season of elections, just be truthful and frank with your supporters. If you have got no material to give them, tell them, Vane, there is no material to give you in these elections. Don't lie to your supporters by cheating that material is there but it has been impounded by ZRA. There is no such thing as material being impounded. So there is no political party which has its material impounded by ZRA. However, let me re-emphasize that all political players who intend to bring in materials from outside are free to do so, and they can bring in their containers, pay the required taxes, and if they need the help in terms of expediting, although that may not be necessary because ZRA works expeditiously, but in the event that they need government to assist in expediting the process, government is open to do so for them. But let them just pay their due taxes, and the material will be in their hands and given to their people. But let me repeat that there is no political party whose material has been impounded or been held on to by ZRA at the borders. So all those claiming that their material is with ZRA are not telling the truth to their supporters. They have no material to give their supporters.
Information and Media Permanent Secretary Tabo Kawana there. Mr. Chomba, I know you've given comment already to this particular story. We are anticipating President Hakainde Hichilema in a few minutes from now to sign or send to 5, bills that were passed before Parliament, and we're going to quickly run through some of these bills that the President is going to enact and make law as of today. The public gathering bill is not on the list of those bills that the President is going to assent to, but there is the pensions, bill that was revised that is going to be assenting to as of today. I'll read through some of these bills as you comment on them. But why is this important? And also to a lay person, can a president in this period still assent to laws?
The president is still president. So those were passed in Parliament, legally constituted. And when you pass a bill, the president has 21 days in which to look at the bill, if it's for the good of the people, to assent to it. But even within that 21 days, if the president feels that there are certain parts of the act, the laws, which are against public interest, he may write back to Parliament with those reservations, and members of Parliament and the Speaker has the right to inform the members of Parliament.
Right.
At this particular moment, we don't know whether the President has written back to Parliament about the public gathering bill, which is not among those. We need to search the website of the Parliament and look at the bills which passed but have not been signed, and also look at the bills which are being signed at the moment.
All right. So these are the bills that the President is going to be assenting to today. The Education Amendment Bill of 2026.
I can comment on the education because I have read it. And what Zambians should look forward to as the President assents now is when the Minister of Education is appointed, that is after the election, and then a statutory instrument is issued that now this has become a law, we have to practice it. They should look at section 15, which talks about previously in the old law of the Education Act, it simply said the child has the right to education. Now, the new one is saying a child who is a citizen has the right to education. So the word there is citizen, which means a Zambian citizen has the right to education. Now you have to prove that this is a citizen, where if they go to a public school, the child won't be chased, the child will be given all the necessary. So as parents, we should do our part when we are taking our children to a public school and say, I am also a Zambian.
All right.
Yeah.
The National Pension Scheme Bill of 2026 is another bill that the President is going to be assenting to.
That one, I haven't read it, but I am happy about the money which is carrying because it puts money in the pocket of pensioners. There is a jump, which is very nice. I wouldn't like to talk about it because the young ones, now children are depending on the old ones like us. You might be receiving a call. Something.
The Public Service Pensions Bill, the Pension Scheme Regulation Amendment Bill, the Local Authorities Superannuation Bill of 2026. These are the 5 that the President is going to be assenting to as of today. We're going to be having those pictures live right here on Crown TV, so be sure that you are tuned in. Let me pick a couple of calls before we wind up. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right.
How are you, Mr. Chomba there?
I'm all right, and how are you, sir?
All right. I would like to say something.
All right, what is your name and where are you calling us from?
Okay, the voice of Kanyama, calling from within Kanyama.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, I think the issue of Garry Nkombo, it's very surprising anyway. But what we should know that the president is the president. No one can joke or become friendly with the president. You know, it's like in a firm or an institution. All the employees, they have to hear to give respect to management. Are you getting that?
Yes.
So what it is UPND had sent, had made rules and a regulation to say no one should go independent. No one should go and stand on independent ticket. And if you remember very well, it was just 3 days or 5 days before the president said it even in Mungu.
Right.
So we are seeing Garry Nkombo going the opposite. So we should know that Garry Nkombo, UPND is bigger than Garry Nkombo. He's not the only one. Besides that, he has been on that seat for 20-25 years. So he doesn't have patience. You never know, maybe the president was even marking him for 2031. You know, some of these things you need to be politely, you need to be humble yourself so that you are able to see ahead of you. I mean, he has been there for a longer time. He would have concentrated in his farm. He has done a lot. So why can't he give others also to rule Mazabuka or to put a development in Mazabuka? So those are the things. So all of us today, we are in UPND, but we give allegiance, respect to the president, the head of state, not to go against. I think this is my submission.
All right.
God bless.
Thank you very much, Voice of Kanyama. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, thank you. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Banda Joseph.
All right.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
I want to also comment on the Garry Nkombo.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, the previous speaker seemed to not to understand what democracy is all about.
Kindly share your opinion. That was his opinion.
Yeah, that is what my opinion would be.
All right, thank you, sir.
My opinion should also be, when he's talking about Garry Nkombo also had his own opinion. So just like mine, the fact is that in Zambia there is democracy. No one should be prevented from standing, and it shouldn't be by decree or by what. Democracy does not say that who should stand. If it's respect goes to everyone. But if you want him to not to stand, we better convince him. Talk to him, then he doesn't. But not to say he's not supposed to stand. No, he's not supposed to do this. No. Let's be fair. This Zambia is everyone's interest. So all those who feel Garry Nkombo should not have resigned are not being serious. They are not being honest. If others have resigned,
is that Mr. Nkombo's
yes, he has a democratic right to belong to any association. That's what the Constitution says. So why should it be an issue? Why should it be an issue for Garry Nkombo to resign when others have resigned? So many people have resigned from UPND, but why should it be a problem with Nkombo? It's only that even you people who are journalists, you seem not to be fair in the way you comment on these matters. I don't know whether you fear victimization or what. Why don't you call Nkombo on that platform and then interview him, rather than us who are outside giving our own opinion? But personally, he has got a democratic right to make whatever is his decision. And you can imagine policemen were there when he was being attacked. Policemen were there in the presence of the police, and they did nothing. Today he has become bad, and even the same police who were there, they go and arrest him. What kind of training is that? Honestly, are we in Zambia where police are trained? They were watching what was going on, and they even give him a call out, come for interviews, as if they were not there. Honestly,
how would you have rather the police acted?
No, the police did not act professionally. They were watching.
What would you have wanted them to do in that situation?
The police, number one, that Halowa guy and his friends. If it was me as an ordinary person, I was not going to be spared the way they spared him. They were supposed to protect Nkombo. From the start, they saw these guys that they were not there for anything good. They allowed those people. Nkombo just used these tactics. Actually, they didn't mean well. And they followed him even inside there. There were four policemen. He was threatening them. And the police were not doing anything else. Not only that, they even saw the damage that was caused to Nkombo. The following day, they call Nkombo, no, we are charging you for assault. Honest, you people. What kind of policing is that?
Right.
What kind of law abiding? Are those real policemen? Maybe they are cadres. This is why we are saying in police, some of them are not policemen. They are cadres, maybe.
All right. Thank you for your contribution.
Okay.
All right. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my brother. How are you?
Very fine. Thank you. How are you, Mr. Nkombo?
I'm very, very happy. My good uncle, Mr. Chomba, at work. Thank you for the job you are doing for Zambians.
Good afternoon.
For me, my friend, the reality about Nkombo now is here with us. People used to hear rumors, this and that, but the reality of him is here. People from Mazabuka now, it's their time now to deal with Nkombo as he's supposed to be treated. Not to beat him up, but to go to the people now. I hear at one time when he started engaging the people seemed not to listen to him until he said, he was going to work with President Nkhonjera. Now that's when people now seemed now to pay attention to him. So now that this person has resigned, meaning he has that problem we used to hear about him in UPND is true. That's why he has gone that way. After all, I don't know those of you have listened to him. Has he resigned just because of what happened to him, or just because he wants to be an independent member of parliament? Because there was a matter in court recently where they said anyone who is belonging to a political party is not supposed to go independent. Perhaps he could have feared to be petitioned in case he wins in the 20 after election. Perhaps that was he has feared. Because it is not only him, there are others who have resigned from PF, from UPND, who want to go independent. That could be the reason that could have driven motivated his resignation. But someone is saying no because of what happened to him. If that is the case, the question, he caused it himself. He said he was not going to recontest. What motivated him to recontest at the last minute? Was it just to frustrate or to show to the world that between him and the party there is a problem? So Zambians, President Nkhonjera, UPND members now campaign against Nkombo so that the candidate there wins. So that if he wants to form a political party, let him go ahead. Because those rumors were there that he wanted to take over the presidency of the party. And even the PF guys were petting him against Nkhonjera several times. So now that the truth is here with us, let us not cry for Nkombo. He has gone. The reality about him is here. Let us forget about him and concentrate on those who feel they are family members of the UPND or they are members of the UPND. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Nkombo, and thank you to you that managed to send us messages. We have read them. Unfortunately, we could not display all the messages and any of the messages, but we have read most of those messages. And Mr. Chomba has addressed some of the concerns and questions that you had. We hope that we'll have more time on the next episode of Conversations at 1, but also look forward to tonight's episode of Decision Time at 20 hours as we continue engaging in various conversations surrounding Zambia. Mr. Chomba, thank you very much for your insights as always.
Well, Zambia is a democracy. Everybody should be given space according to their decisions. Mr. Nkombo would like to stand and is standing as an independent. He should be given space. I'm sure right now people know where all aspiring candidates are supposed to campaign from. So don't interfere in another person's campaign time. So that we have a peaceful campaign period ahead of the 13th August general election.
All right. The lines in Mazabuka Central have been drawn. Whether the decision by Honorable Garry Nkombo to ditch the UPND is going to make him a stronger candidate in that election remains to be seen. Whether his decision to separate with the UPND is going to strengthen the United Party for National Development's resolve in Mazabuka Central also remains to be seen. The decision is in the hands of you, the residents of Mazabuka Central. Only you will tell us, and the ballot will speak come the 13th of August 2026. My name is Seidlitz Nkhonjera. On behalf of everyone here at Crown Television, we wish you a very good afternoon.